Oh, hi. Hello. There's that nice live button there. Hi to anyone watching this in the future. You're watching a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays cool tabletop role-playing games online. So they're not pronounced the Gauntlet; they're just the Gauntlet. Gauntlet-rpg.com. You find all the stuff they do, which is a lot of stuff involving tabletop role-playing games, podcasts, zines, forums, blogs, all that great stuff. The main thing that they have there is the Hangouts calendar, where close to nearly 200 games a month at this point being arranged there. So pretty much a lot of great indie story games, PBTA, OSR stuff always being put there every month. Check that out. Some of the games include this one, which was arranged through Hangouts. This is part 2 of our 5-part look at, well, Once Again We Return, which is a supplement for Monster Hearts 2. Monster Hearts 2 by Avery Alder. Her game of feral teenage monsters trying to live their best lives, so to speak. But the supplement takes it to the realm of the Wicked and Divine. Supplements written by Patrick Knowles. Wicked and Divine is a comic book by Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey, with Clayton Cowles and Mike Wilson. I know I botched one of those names. I'm gonna correct that in a break. But yes, so we're taking Monster 2 and lensing it through the Wicked and Divine, in which that our protagonists are young adults turned gods, turned powerful beings. Every 90 years this happens. For 2 years they're beloved, hated, feared, adored, and then they die. So that's fun. So yeah, let's get a recap of the gods we have on. We have 3 people returning from last week. Hope to see the 4th one back later today. But yeah, I want here. Let's go to the order of the character keeper. Introduce yourself and your character, and a cool thing about them. Because I presume all these characters are very cool. They are totally cool. So let's start with you, David.
Hi, yeah, my name is David. I use he, him pronouns. I'm based here in the UK, and I am playing Hades, the Greek god of the underworld, and amongst his other duties, also wealth. And that's kind of one of the aspects I'm focusing on with him this time around. So before he became Hades, Sebastian Diallo was a British guy of Senegalese heritage, who he was, at university studying. I think I said international development at the London School of Economics, and also quite a gifted musician who used to busk down in the tube stations and the like. He, since becoming Hades, he is gives far more select performances, as well as doing other sort of public appearances. I think the one cool thing I'm going to mention about Hades is another thing that we talked about last time, but Hades has a large collection of artifacts and treasures from around the world, many of which look very familiar to pieces that may have gone missing from various big museums. And I think that's a brief picture of Hades.
One we hope to tease out more in the future. Up next in the character keeper, we've got yourself, Kyle. Tell us about yourself and your extremely emo character.
I'm Kyle, he, him. I am playing Miranda Green, she, her, who is the incarnation of Persephone. Wife of Hades, queen of the underworld, and also goddess of spring. Complicated relationship with Hades, and also was terminally ill before the whole godhood thing, and is still kind of making their peace with that. Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, not the terminally ill bit. No, that's never cool. Sorry. There we go. This coffee's doing its work. That's what you get, Puckett, for wishing on things. Speaking of Puckett, tell us about yourself and your character while I drain the last of this mug.
Well, first off, I would like to remind everyone of something that Kyle said about his character in the last session, which is still something that is absolutely giving me life. I just wrote it down in my notebook. Dying and deification did not improve stuff. That's just, it's so quintessentially perfect. It's just, I puffy heart you for saying that, Kyle. I really do. Like super puffy hearts. Anyway, hi, I'm Puckett, he, him pronouns. I am playing Allison Blaze, who has woke up one day and found herself to be well, I don't know if goddess is quite the right word, but the figure of legend, Lilith. And she is looking out over sexuality and gender roles and is pretty much the might seduce your dad type, if that's not too much of a stretch. Yeah, she's kind of the worst, but she's a pop star who's also something of a scientist and is engaging in biological research because, of course, a incarnated goddess looking into sexuality and gender roles will be looking into biology. So she's fun and awful and terrible, and maybe not the worst person you'll ever meet, but certainly in the running.
God, I only hope you don't meet worse people, because at least there's a foundation there. All right, so before we get into like the game proper, I want to remind folks of the safety tools that we have, just so we all know what, so we can play in a safe and comfortable environment. Remind folks we have lines and veils. They're in the pick list and setting playbook. Lines are things that won't be crossed, just won't show up in the fiction at all. Fails are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to concentrate on it. Like we'll fast forward, or we'll just move it, off corner, off camera, not corner. What does that even mean? There we go. There's the coffee at work. So that's what a veil is. We also have the X card. That's what we're using. So basically, if we do roll into a scene where folks feel uncomfortable for whatever reason, and any reason's fine. They might say they want to X that on the chat. Yes, the right one. Chat, the camera, or on the roll for your party. There's a button there for the X card. I might ask some questions on what elements being X carded, but no one gets the question if the tool is used. If it's used, it's used. We'll just roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy. So what that means is that for whatever reason, if folks need to step away from the table, whether there's an emergency that they need to address, or they're more tired than they thought and need to lie down, or maybe things are getting quite a bit, or they need to take a break, we can say we want to pause the game. We're going to pause the game and let them, get more comfortable, or if they need to go, they need to go. And people can call in that at any time. It doesn't matter. Like, say, if we are on a emotionally taut scene, for some reason I'm imagining at the top of the shard and someone's shouting at the heavens, like, even if it's becoming so emotionally gripping, if people really need to go, like, say, like, even the folks involved in the scene, like, oh shit, just got a call about important stuff, that's fine, we'll pause the scene there. Safety comfort's more important. That's your safety tools. So yeah, I'll do a quick recap of basically our ridiculous pantheon, who's taken London by storm. In a sense, they've taken over the Shard, and it's been called the dinner by the Ancient One, who gave them all their power. A lovely lady by the name of Nyx, goddess of night, primordial entity of Greek mythology, and yeah, she's kept y'all waiting. I think we had a nice awkward scene with Hades and Persephone, and also a nice awkward scene between Lilith and Osiris, who is Ed Sheeran in this game, because David wanted to introduce pain into the world, apparently. Thanks, David. We had a nice little awkward scene between Artemis and Persephone. Artemis is not really bummed with the whole dying thing, or someone just looking forward to it. It's just weird. And Adrestia, hopefully we'll see later today, got a mission. And so yes, Nyx has kept you waiting, and then we ended last session with her coming in with a new god with her, and she's saying, yeah, she's called you in to meet this new god. And I think we ended with the shot of her kind of like turning aside to kind of reveal this this god. And let me see, what's the picture I found? Okay, she's a black woman in this suit. When I say black woman, she's about like what looks like 19 or 20. She's wearing this like neon. It's like this red neon suit that almost kind of like pops. Like it doesn't look like neon, but it looks like it stands out a bit from the world. And she's got like this bow tie with like a white rose on it. Yes, I put a picture of her in the character keeper. Yes, she is just Janelle Monáe, which that probably makes it easier. I don't have to describe her too much. But yeah, she kind of pops up, but she's wearing like these sunglasses, and she kind of pulls a peace sign and says, "Sup? Name's Ahania. How are y'all doing?" And she kind of like just this very easy smile, and then she kind of not wait for anyone to answer and starts like pacing around the table to see if there's like an unclaimed spot.
So who in God's green hell are you supposed to be?
Like I said, name's Ahania. You do the research. You're the smart one, right?
No, I'm the lazy one. I just happen to be good at biology.
Well, I'm kind of not here to cater to the lazy ones. And then she turns away from you and starts looking again at the table. Like, right. Is there like a spot here where I don't have to like... Well, if no one, and I think she's just going to take a spot next to... Okay, who here out of the three of you still has like an empty spot next to them?
I imagine people tend to avoid Persephone. I mean, she's kind of a downer.
Yeah.
But is it the mood or the ever-present smell of weed around her?
Yeah, I think... Is there weed? Because like if Ahania sits down and smells that weed, she'll have a response, but...
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I think she'll kind of just sit down and almost like look expectantly at the table around her. And I think, let's see, who would be the one to... Yeah, I think most of the... Let's see. What's Persephone's reaction? And to Hades before I get to the other gods. Because we've got to saw what Lilith's reaction is like.
Yeah, right before she walked in, Persephone was growing a little tree out of her soup. So she's, stopped doing that long enough to, take in Ahania, but then is, sort of like returning her attention back to the tree and like fiddling with it. And like, so, Ahania, is that a human name or a divine name?
I think she cocks her sunglasses kind of a bit down, and you can see that like her eyes have like her eyes are a bit weird. It's like they've got this like neon like green circuit lines over them. And she says, "Well, I don't know what makes a name divine."
Usually being associated with the god will do the trick.
Well, what makes a god then? You're Persephone, right? The sad one.
Yeah, that's me. And, well, I suppose this makes a god, and now plants are growing out of all of your foods.
Ooh. All right. Let me look at this moves because sounds like you're. Are you? This sounds like working a miracle.
Does it? Okay.
If only you're just show. Actually, no. This is not serious enough to be like working a miracle. It sounds like you're showing off.
Yeah.
Um.
'Cause I don't think this really solves problems.
Yeah.
Is it?
You're just showing off. But I do want to make this a role of some sort. Just to. Actually,
I guess it's shut someone down, maybe?
yeah. You're not taking her shit for sure. So rope was cold.
All right. Cold is not my stat, I think. Yeah, -1. I got a 5.
Cool. Mark XP. So even if it's not just you get some stuff. All right. Let me see the moves. This is the bit where I'm not used to running this system.
So
since I played Monster Hearts. Here we go.
I'm watching what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm liking it. Is there any way that I can intervene to turn the failure into a success?
Ooh. I wish, but there's no way to help in this game. It's a very individually minded. Okay, there's no way to help.
So I can't, for example, snap my fingers and do like the turn someone on move to try to keep the trees going, perhaps?
Let's see how this move kind of turns back on Persephone.
Okay.
For you to do that. I think that sounds like you're working a miracle. Or let me check. No, you're not really collaborating on this. You're not dropping a surprise.
I mean, at this point, it's not a song, but I mean, at this point, Lilith trying to get at Persephone this way actually probably would be trying to work a miracle.
Cool. Yeah. So I think so you're trying to make plants grow out of your soup?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think okay, here's what happens. Anya kind of looks at that and says, well, that's really rad, but I ever tried doing it like this? And she kind of brushes her hand against the trees, the tree that you're making, and the plants almost kind of start to warp in it's a weird way to describe it, but it's almost like it's turning surrealist. It's almost like it's the plants are losing perspective, and I think they start kind of dancing to her tune almost. I could even hear her piping a bit of a tune, and it's almost and you can feel your control from the plants slipping away as she's kind of almost reshaping them into something else.
Ooh, I want to shut her down.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Yeah.
What's the role for your party link?
It's in the character. Okay, I'll just put it in the chat.
Yeah, I was looking through the character keeper and couldn't.
Yeah,
find it.
it's a big bar and the characters tab at the top.
Okay.
But I'll put the link in the chat anyway.
Gotcha. Alrighty, so 2d6. I'm rolling with cold, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That gives me a 9.
Cool.
I've got 2 cold.
All right. So what exactly are you doing? What? Paint me the scene here. What's Lilith doing?
Well, I just that whole thing where she's like, do your own research. Like, that bugged me. So she's trying to make these trees dance. And I kind of liked what Persephone was doing with making the trees grow. I want to make the trees grow to a point where Ohanya can't make them dance.
Ooh.
And preferably, I would like to make the trees grow to the point that they break through some of the glass window panes in this god-awfully ugly building that we're inhabiting that, as we established last time, now is pretty much entirely pink and really reflects the architect's original intent to be this gigantic tower jutting into the sky. Because, I mean, there's obviously nothing subliminal going on there. So yeah, I want to break some windows with the trees, I think.
Cool. Yeah, I think on a success, I'll let you have all that. Just because it's a cool image. So yeah, I think the trees, the plants, they're in their citrus form. They're about to like hop off from Persephone's soup to dance. But yeah, I think, what does it look like when you perform your magic? Is it just like the proper width div 1, 2, 3, 4? Because the consequence of the miss hit is that the weak hit is that Ahanya's gonna notice and will have to give you a condition. But like, how do you do your magic, your miracle, so to speak?
Oh, I just smile, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and the trees stop and start growing again out of the soup.
Yeah,
And then they grow and grow and grow and break some windows. And I smile ever so sweetly at Ohanya and wink at Persephone.
While this is happening, Hades, what are you doing?
So yeah, Hades was watching. Well, certainly he was watching it with a look of a faint amusement on his face at the interaction between Ahanya and Lilith, and then further between Persephone and Ahanya and Lilith. And I think he's just going to lean back in his chair a little bit. Clap a couple of times and say, "Well, Ahanya, welcome to the Pantheon. I'm sure you're going to fit in just fine."
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of backing away from the table. I think you're sitting there, Hades, looking cool as a cucumber. As I actually don't know if cucumbers are cool, but yeah, as the tree smashes through the window, and everyone else is kind of backed away, including probably Persephone and Ahanya. And I think she what you said, Hades, Ahanya just kind of smiles and just like, well, with busybodies like these, and she points a thumb at Lilith. I'm sure it's going to be very interesting. And yeah, I think you're going to take the condition busybody, Lilith. But
does
you
that
also
replace my gossip condition from last time?
No, you keep those until you fictionally do something to get rid of those conditions. So the thing with conditions is people can tag those when they're interacting with you to get a +1 on the rolls against you.
Gossip and busybody.
Yeah, but you got a 79 on that shut someone down. You should pick from that list of 4.
Oh, you know what? I completely forget stuff like this.
No worries.
What is even wrong with me? All right. Basic moves. All right. So I shut somebody down. Okay. I'm giving Ohanya a condition.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give her the condition weak sauce.
Okay.
Which is, basically, you're new. And you're not up to snuff yet. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie and wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's fine.
So she has a thing or two to learn yet, and until she does, yeah. So much for her condition on me.
Well, yeah, so she's gonna have that condition, and same principle. If folks tag that, kind of like, bring that into their interaction when you roll against them, you get a +1 when you do so. So yeah, I think we can probably wrap up this turn with this giant fucking tree bursting through the shard. That's a good image to end on this scene. And yeah, now we go into the bit where I become lazy and just ask y'all what happens in the next day or two. What are people's plans? Like, what do young gods and goddesses with so much power and prestige or fan support or just attention, what did they do with their day? Okay, I want to think about that, but if whoever has an idea what they want to do, feel free to jump in.
You can always put me in the lab.
Sure. So what is Lilith's lab, the lab of Lilith? What does that look like? Where does
Lilith
she
Labs? She now has her own biomedical concern because she's a goddess, so of course she does.
Of course.
I mean, it may shock you to hear that researchers will happily turn over vast laboratory facilities with just inordinately expensive equipment to a goddess who's a teenager just because she says, hey, you mind if I borrow this for a little bit? Right?
Yeah. Okay. I see. I see. No problem.
So we're talking level 5 clean rooms. She could, if she so chose, be working with, basically the worst of the worst viruses and bacteria. But her goals are really, really simple. What she wants to do before she dies is to create a patch that provides hormone regulation for women to alleviate pain from PCOS and endometriosis, that also acts as effective birth control that can be worn long-term with no effects. And when you take it off, you can get pregnant if you want. It's not one of those things where you have to stay off it for 18 months or something like that. There's no delay period. You can just take it off whenever. And not only that, it blends in with skin tone. So it's virtually invisible unless you're looking. And you can put it anywhere. You can put it on your hip. You can put it on your back. You can put it on your neck. It's something that seems simple. And it should be simple. But obviously it's a lot more complicated than that because, she wants this patch. You only need one. She's not trying to make money off of this. She's actually kind of trying to undercut big pharma and make something cheap, accessible globally that can basically just be given away. I mean, she's the goddess of sexuality and gender roles and that sort of thing, but she's not trying to enforce them. She's trying to liberate people from them.
Nice. All right. So this sounds like you are creating a grand project or exploring a revolutionary idea.
That's why she's Prometheus.
Cool.
The world may not be ready for this.
They may not be. Well, let's see how your roll goes.
All righty.
Roll plus dark. Your dark is all right. It's pretty good.
That's an 11.
Oh my god. So pick 3.
All right. And then oh man, I have to have so many windows open for this thing. This is killing me.
I'll remind folks, the basic moves are in the character keeper as well.
Yeah, but this is from... This is the one that we are... this is one from the...
Skin Deep?
Yeah. Not Skin Deep, but is this from the Once Again We Return moves?
No, this is your move. This is a Prometheus move.
Okay. Never mind. I'm getting lost here because I've got the bay between the basics and everything like that. All right. So let's see, what do we have here?
Yeah, you got a move like called Firebringer, which is that's what I thought you were rolling with.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. No weird side effects. Cheap and easy to make. And I'm assuming that when instead of maintain, we can change that to distribute.
Mm-hmm.
And it never randomly fails or backfires.
Ooh. So why isn't it accepted or admired by the masses? What's the backlash that you kind of get from it?
A woman created something that upends patriarchal control of birth, and you're asking why it wouldn't be accepted or admired by the masses?
Yeah, I think yeah, we can get a montage of this. Yeah, there's some like, a lot of skeptical op-eds, giving women too much control, that sort of thing. It's a lot of like just
I mean, there's a lot of religious blowback. There is a lot of misogynist blowback. There's a lot of actually blowback. There's just a shit show on Twitter. And on Instagram, on the other hand, there's a lot of women sharing pictures of themselves picking up the patch. But you're still dealing with researchers who are saying, we can't just put things like this out there. We have to test them. We have to make sure they work. This has to be vetted. There's no long-term studies. We don't know what this is going to do. And of course, Lilith's reaction is, I'm a goddess, bitch. Of course this shit's going to work. Mic drop.
Yeah. But I think you're going to need to do more than just say that to like get accepted. Because this works. This patch totally works. And the thing is, you just need to like get your message out. Now, thankfully, once again, return, there is a basic move it adds that is all about getting your message out. It's called trending. But before we kind of go into that, like how did it get her message out, all this, do you mind if we cut to the other characters, see how they're doing?
Please do.
Cool. So I think this hubbub, hubbub around Lilith, it's probably like par for the course for Pantheon nonsense. I think okay, all right. Now I shouldn't say what the other Pantheon folks are doing, but yeah, what's more about the other two? What are the two underworld deities? What are they up to?
Well, it sounds like Lilith has been, between like developing the patch and like reading reviews and comments and stuff, she's had a number of private moments, and Persephone is a creep. So when I silently witness someone in a private moment, I get a string on them. So I think Persephone has just been creeping around, just kind of like silently sneaking in and watching Lilith and what they've been doing.
Is Lilith okay with that? Or Pocket, are you okay with Lilith not noticing? Yeah, okay.
She's busy. Yeah. She's been doing science, dude.
Do you do this a lot, Persephone? Creeping around people?
Yes, Persephone's a super creep.
Okay. All right.
She's super creepy. Yow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Yeah, they really do. When you're safety goggling with miracles, whatnot. Is that how Persephone? What else does Persephone do in her daily life? It's creeping on her fellow gods.
She also likes to take some time to herself. Avoid the crowds as much as she can, like sneak off into the subway and just wander off through like abandoned subway tunnels and just take in the old like tunnels, urban exploration, I guess.
I think, that's in between, seeing Lilith freak out, that you just do your usual, like, tunnel wandering and whatnot. And I think there is hold on, I need to double check something. Just double check some mythology. Here we go. Yes, I think there is a day when you're like, yeah, wandering through the tunnels, and it's like, abandoned, nobody goes there for a bit. It's a tube. There's a lot of weird stuff there, but you hear the soft strains of acoustic guitar one day, and I think you probably like round the corner to this. I don't know if you're gonna follow the acoustic guitars, but there's a point where even if you like turn around, they kind of become overpowering.
Oh, of course, yeah. Persephone hears the spooky music in an abandoned tunnel. How can she not follow it?
But the thing is, it's not really spooky. It's like a a wedding guitarist sort of music, but which I guess is spooky in their own way, because when you kind of turn or you kind of you turn around the corner, you'll see like, yeah, you're at this like an abandoned tube station. It's fairly small, but you see like it's been done up to look like some sort of faux gig residency sort of place. There are folks at the train track parts, kind of like looking rapturously at good old Osiris, who's on a stool with a guitar, and he's wearing flannel. He always wears flannel. It's ridiculous. And he just like plucks it. He just plucks a few of his six string and just says, and I think he sees you, Persephone, unless you make an effort to hide yourself.
No, he can see me.
Yes. And I think he sees you, gives you this nice smile, and he just says, "This next performance is going out to those who don't know how good they've got it till it's gone." And yeah, he starts performing, and I think you'll get a whiff of what he's doing, and just watch as he just enraptures this like crowd with what he's doing. Like, he's not even really performing. It's just like, it's the idea of like this very like milquetoast story of finding love, and I fucking hell, I should know more Ed Sheeran stuff. My mom plays a lot of that. But it is just like, it is of all the gods, Osiris definitely puts out a performance that would attract a lot of moms. And I think you see that in the crowd as well. It's a lot of women in their 40s.
Persephone hadn't thought much of Osiris previously, but she's kind of feeling it now, and she's gonna like find a patch of dirt in the subway, like grow a few roses from it, and like throw them on stage.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think ooh. I think you throw the roses, and yeah, I think, are you turning him on?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, because he's gonna see that, and he's gonna think you're turning him on. So let's roll it. This rope was hot.
Okay. Oh, 5. 4.
Oh, well, mark experience. Just keep wrapping up the experience. Yeah, I think. Ooh. I think. Oh, here we go. I think you throw the roses, and what was Persephone's thinking when? Yeah, because I my internet kind of glitched up there. I only just got you throw roses, but like, she was getting into the performance.
Yeah, she was kind of feeling it. Like, I mean, he likes spooky abandoned tunnels too. Let's have a little fun and like throw some roses and stuff.
Yeah, I think what it looks like is, once you throw the roses, when it lands around him, it's almost like, ooh, I'm just look at these reactions here on this GM sheet. I think Oh, I think beyond that one look, I think he ignores the roses. Yeah, and I think everyone just ignores it, and you are going to take. No, I'm gonna give you a condition. Your condition is ignored.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll mark that down.
yeah, write that down. And I think he finishes the performance, and again, it's a lot of, for lack of a better term, Twilight moms cheering.
Yeah, as soon as he clearly ignores it, Persephone's just kind of like drift to the back and just sort of drift off into the tunnels. Like she knows when she's not wanted.
Aw, poor Persephone. I think there's a moment where it feels like his eyes or his like vision kind of falls on you for a moment, but it's only a moment because you're probably like huffing off back into the darkness. All right. I'm gonna get one scene with Hades, and then we'll take a break. So, well, Hades, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I think Hades has taken a trip to, I'm going to say, somewhere in South America, where there's like a big like miners' strike type thing going on.
Ooh.
And yeah, I think he's there relatively incognito as far as gods go. But yeah, and I think the sort of scene of him is he's there. It's probably like in a kind of pale linen suit, and it's got to that point where like the police are starting to sort of push back against these strikers. They've got guns kind of leveled at the protesters as well. This is clearly a full on repression of these miners, and I think Hades is just going to do the 1, 2, 3, 4 and remove all the metal from the guns.
Wow. All right. Yeah, when you work a miracle, solve your problems. So the nice thing with this movie is that it just happens, and you would just get some consequences. So you get a choice. You can choose to describe the consequences, in which case pick 2 from the list, or allow me to choose the consequence, but I only get to pick 1.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think someone sees a true piece of me. I'm wondering, I'd quite like it if it was another god, but I'm not sure which god would make sense.
Ooh. Might be our new kid who's watching, because you're the one who was the most welcoming to her, so she's probably like watching from like the sidelines, and you only just see her as soon as you're doing.
Yeah, cool. And they get to ask me a question that I have to answer honestly.
Yeah. So.
And sorry, I was going to say my other one as well. Mm-hmm. Is that I think maybe. Do I want to go for the public attention or? No, I think I'm going to say that the miracle takes on a life of its own,
Ooh.
Oh, do I want that? Yeah, I think I do. I think the miracle takes on a life of its own.
All right, so I have to update my list of reactions then to describe. Yeah, this miracle. You just make a metal disappear.
Yeah, I basically yes, make I probably return. I suppose the correct way of putting it, I suppose, would be that I return all the metal from the guns to the earth.
Ooh, what does that look like? Did it just disappear, or is there like an effect?
Yeah, I think it will just be it will probably actually, I think, almost like ripple out through the crowd and through particularly obviously the police are the most of the ones who are around here, and yeah, you'll just see like kind of, I like almost like just kind of fading. Oh, I don't know, maybe just like actually literally the gun just like disintegrating into all the component pieces and all the metal in it, which I guess is probably the majority of it, just sinking down into the earth as if it were, like just soft soil.
Yeah, I think there's a hint of like the miracle kind of going just a bit more than you probably expected. And so it's not just some of the guns, maybe some folks like their belt buckles just kind of like, just slid it, ping to the earth. Some folks get the pants. Some folks like watches, kind of, disassemble. It's like, it's a bit more powerful than you probably expected. You can almost feel like the earth exerting a bit of its influence as you kind of take your stuff. And I think, describe to me like, how this scene kind of like, describe me the rest of the scene. Because the miracle's gonna happen, you're gonna like diffuse this like strike and all that. Well, not the strike, but like the people gonna put down the strike. So what is it? What does the do once he does his miracle?
So yeah, I think the mood very quickly turns because the police suddenly feel a lot less in control of the situation. And the strikers pick up on that, and they sort of push back, and essentially the police have to sort of flee the scene.
Ooh, yeah, and I think definitely once the folks flee the scene, the micers let out a cheer, and I think there is a very like quite substantial crowd around you, kind of like cheering you on. How's Hades reacted like suddenly all this? They're worshiping you. I mean, clearly you're a god. You came in here and performed a ridiculous miracle, so they can't help but just like look up to you.
And I'll just say all the treasures of the earth are mine, not for they cannot be bought with paper and numbers, but only with worship and sacrifice and hard labor can they be brought forth from the earth.
Are you speaking your truth to the masses?
It does sound like I am, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really does.
I wasn't necessarily intending to, but yeah, no, that's definitely where we're going.
Well, the nice
thing that's cool. That's I'd forgotten about that move.
Yeah, no worries. Well, you get experience when you trigger this move, so definitely go for it. So you're gonna mark experience. So when you speak your truth to the masses in person, over the airwaves, or online, your message instantly goes viral. Mark experience and roll with a stat appropriate to your message. So yeah, what's Hades' demeanor? So this is almost like the veil, I guess. Yeah, you pick like emotionally which stat.
Yeah, I'm torn between. I think it's probably. I'm going to say probably dark, actually, because I think this is very much him letting the god take the wheel, sort of thing, and I think that's the stat that's like most appropriate for that kind of the weirder side of things.
Yeah, when you start off, you're saying we're going, all wealth, it's mine. I don't know if you can go any darker than that. Yeah, roll plus dark. So remember, like you still get XP, like you just get experience just for triggering the move.
That's only a 6, unfortunately.
Oh, shit. You know what I wish about some monster art moves? I wish they told me what happens on a miss, other than okay. Okay, here's what happens. I think they're gonna take your message to heart in a way, but like none of the fun mechanical stuff is gonna happen. Instead, what's gonna happen is yeah, it really doesn't say. I think the audience, your audience here, kind of like balks a bit from what you say because in a sense it's very much trading one master for another. So I think there's a bit of cheers, but the undercurrent is kind of grim, and I think there are some folks who had like cameras who are like maybe like live streaming what you were saying, and I think you get the sense that your message did not go over well. It's gonna spread because this movie, since your message instantly goes viral, but you know what? I'm gonna pick one. I'm going to pick one from this list. What would the condition you would have given your audience if you had hit? Also, mark experience again because you failed that roll.
I think the condition I was probably going for was just trying to think how to phrase it. I guess it would be six. I'm thinking because the message I was probably I'm just trying to think of how to phrase it in a way that's like feels like a condition, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, what I was going for was something like, almost even something like empowered or respectful, but that doesn't feel like a condition. So I'm not sure quite how I'd.
Yeah. Well, I think you're gonna get like the opposite of what you were gonna give them.
Yeah,
for sure. Oh, here we go. Empowered, respected. No, I think what's gonna happen is you're not gonna get that. Instead, you feel, when you notice like when you did your miracle and there's like a bit of the earth kind of like just just almost like exert its own will. I think you feel that will kind of like course through you for a moment, as if something wants to pull you down, and I think you're gonna get and I think you feel it for a moment. There's like a force that seems so primal that's gonna drag you back underneath the earth, and then that force just lets go, and I think you're gonna get conditioned cowed.
I was also thinking of that word, so that does seem appropriate.
Yeah, and I think we'll kind of end the scene with like as this kind of like the crowd kind of like gathers, and you're probably off to leave. You match eyes with Ahania, who's just like on the corner, probably leaning against a tree of some sort, and you notice like she's not smiling. I think you've only ever seen her smile, but you've only seen her for like 5 minutes, and then that tree happened. But she's looking at you like very intently. I think she probably have some questions for you, but we'll do that after the break because we've been here for an hour. Let's take 5 and then bring you all back together. Let's bring you all back to London, and we'll see how Lilith's attempt to bring her frankly revolutionary patches into fruition. Actually, let's take a
question.
Oh, go on.
Did the reactions to that count as my ideas being dismissed out of hand?
Ooh, yes. Take an experience. Your ideas are totally being dismissed out of hand. So yes, take that
Okay.
experience. But yeah, let's take a good 10. 1 second to 10, so I can make more coffee. There we go. That's why. So 10 minutes when I put on the video. See you all back. BRB.
just a cage of bones. There's nothing inside. Will it unleash me, burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at Paul's masquerade. I'm in both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise.
Nearly click stop live stream there. That would have been not good.
Did you want to restart the recording just so you don't get that 2 hour 55-second thing?
I'm gonna do it when the live thing goes away.
Okay.
I'll wait till then. I just gonna keep an eye on that little corner there. All right. How are folks doing so far? Folks been good?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, feeling kind of good. This this coffee is a different flavor to the one I had. This is a caramel latte instant coffee. It is quite sweet. All right, cool. So yeah, let's cut to Lilith then. So Lilith, you've made this quite, frankly, revolutionary patch, to help out. A lot. They could have helped out a lot of people, but societal pressure just won't get in the
Everyone with
way.
ovaries.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone would ovaries. A lot of people would benefit from it. But
And the thing is, it isn't just birth control. It helps regulate pain from PCOS and endometriosis. I mean, it does a lot, and it does it in an easy to conceal form factor. So, teenage girl wants to be on birth control and her parents are vehemently opposed to it for whatever reason, she can get it.
yeah, and okay, here's what I remember now. Here's something I forgot to do at the start of the session. I just realized. We might still do it, but I don't know if we'll get enough impact of it. So at the start of the session, so every session we should explore we'll explore one of your god's iconic performance. When you actually let loose with your magic and see how you inspire folks. So at the start of the session, I meant to choose a theme for the performances. Each player will get a chance at some point in the session to describe one of their performances, past or present, that fits the theme. There's no such thing as over the top for a god on stage. Think like like a superstar diva who has like $1 million special effects budget and magic. So basically, yeah, I'm gonna pick a theme, and at some point, folks want to bring in if they did a performance back then that was kind of like that theme, or or if you want to do a performance in this session that regards that theme. At the end of the session, the MC will ask each player if they brought an element of someone's performance into the rest of the session, or vice versa. If you answered yes, you get experience. So that's kind of like the point of this. So let's see. The theme I'm picking is the performance you cared about the most, as in the one you really wanted to grab attention, not just a usual gig, but like something that you wanted to like make such a splash that people just can't help but pay attention. Is that okay with folks?
I'm actually really glad you mentioned that because, quite frankly, I think that's coming up for Lilith.
That may or may not be a coincidence. So yeah, Lilith, you've been what's your plans? What are you planning on doing?
I'm going to throw a goddamn coming out party for it at Wembley Stadium.
Shit. All right. I think we'll probably just get how do you get the word out? Like, it's not gonna be a role. I just want to help. I just want to see the scene painted, and I think the other gods are definitely gonna be aware that you're gonna take Wembley by storm. But what does it look like as you like prepare for this gig, or as people see?
Am I preparing for it or publicizing it, or I mean, you're asking a few different questions here.
Ooh, yeah. I think kind of like I think I want to see just like what the camera sees, and what I want to see is like how is it publicized? Like, you just like put the word out like Lilith, Wembley, date.
No. Even better.
Ooh.
Just a tweet. What's up, bitches? Wembley tonight. Let's do this.
That's really cool. Let's see.
I'm getting the feeling that she's probably going to be like somewhere between Robin and Bikini Kill, and Bowie.
Oh man, that is bad. That's really cool. I'm gonna ask the other two. Are you gonna be in attendance?
Are y'all muted?
I think they're just thinking.
Yeah, I'm deep in contemplation. I think that Hades will be there because he's genuinely interested to see what this is, but he's also going to be sulking, so
If Hades and Lilith are going, then Persephone's coming. But yeah.
Cool.
Well, I kind of have to be there.
Yeah.
By the way, follow up the reply to the tweet. Oh, BT dubs, free. Come get your patches.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think. Okay, all right. I think I don't want to cut straight to the performance. I do want to. Does people have anything they want to do before you just see this performance, or do you just want to see it? I think there is like definitely like a leftover scene between Hades and Ahania, but we can punt that for later. We can just see this performance then, if that's all right with everyone.
Yeah, that works for me.
Cool. All right. So Wembley, I think. You know what? I think it's gonna be packed. I think definitely with all the hubbub. I mean, it's Lilith. I'm not gonna make a roll for it. I think it's definitely gonna be packed for sure.
I mean,
and
it's a free show. It's
yeah,
the coming out party for a major medical revolution in women's health. I mean, every woman in attendance gets a patch. I mean, the entire point of these things is that they're cheap to produce. I mean, if you lose one, so what? You just grab another one. You know, we're talking like you can get up basically not a case, but like a decently, like a decent number of them, like a dozen or 2 dozen for about the same price as a single month's prescription of birth control. So, we're talking these things cost pennies to produce, and I'm going to be dead in 2 years. Why do I care about money?
hell yeah.
I can't take it with me, literally.
All right. So yeah, it's definitely packed. Do the gods have their own like box, or are they part of the hoi polloi, or they have to like?
Hades is definitely in one of the executive boxes. He's sat, at the viewing window, with like a very large tumbler of whiskey or similar, with his patented brooding face on.
Of course. Where's Persephone?
Quietly drifting about in the background, as she tends to do.
Of course.
Lurking and creeping and lurking.
Oh wow! If you stick around in the background, you might see Hades do something. Nah, they're not gonna do something, and they're not gonna do. This place is not private enough. Okay. All right. Lilith.
I'm curious. Is Hades drinking Haterade? Sorry.
Let's get into the performance. All right. So, I think I know what move this is gonna be, but take it away. What's the performance look like, Lilith? And if folks have questions, not just for myself, but for everyone else about the performance and whatnot, feel free to chime in. But yeah, what do we see on stage, Lilith?
It is one of the most sparse, empty, and stark stage layouts you have ever seen. There's lights, but they're all white. There's no colored gels on them or anything. Stage is well lit. There's a drum riser, a couple of guitarists, bass player, drummer, amps. But other than that, it's bare. This is not elaborate staging. This is staging from a Fugazi show in like 1991. So Lilith did not come to play tonight. She came to work. And she is serious about it. Because she knows what she's created. She knows what she has done. Whatever she does in the remaining time she has, no one can take this from her. She made an impact. And tonight's show is about trying to spread that impact as wide and as publicly as possible to as many people as she can reach. because she's a god. Scientists can sit around and they can talk about clinical trials, and we don't know if there's going to be any side effects, and this is dangerous. And well, what happens if this? There's all these questions they want to ask. But this is literally something created by a god and given to the people to return control to them. It is a god voluntarily surrendering power and distributing it among the people who need it most. And she is not about to let anyone fuck with this.
All right. It sounds like you're speaking your truth to the masses.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
All right. Mark experience. What's the stat you think is most appropriate to this? Sounds like you're angry.
I'm thinking cold.
Ooh, yes. I think, yeah, there is like,
Because this is something that she developed. She tested it. She researched it. She came up with it. And she's got that kind of cold. She doesn't have that burning anger that makes somebody want to punch somebody in the face. She's got that cold anger, the kind that'll make her walk up behind somebody, reach up with a knife, and cut their throat before they know what's happened.
God, rope was cold.
That's a 12.
Oh, all right. So on a hit, you take your message to heart. Give your audience a condition. Conditions can be nice as well. So that's just on a hit.
The condition that the audience gets, that everyone who is, and I'm assuming that this is being broadcast on TV and that it's being carried, because this is an event. I mean, obviously they're not going to be doing a lot of crazy staging or anything like that, but it's an event. So the condition that I want to give everybody present and anybody who saw it on TV or broadcast or on the internet is liberated.
Okay. So I think,
Prometheus didn't come to hold power or to consolidate it. Prometheus came to give everyone light.
Cool.
And that's what Lilith is doing. It's just that instead of doing it with fire, she's doing it with sex and gender and trying to set everyone free from a system that she sees as inherently patriarchal and unjust that needs to be overthrown. And tonight's about giving the power back to everyone who's had power seized from them.
Cool. On a 10 up, their attention and feedback rekindles your inner fire. I think it's not what the response to your performance isn't, blind adulation. They are liberated. You can see the fire in their eyes. It feels like their vistas has been opened by your performance. It feels like they can do anything now. So on a 10 up, you can clear a condition or gain influence over a new purview, or you can do both, but you choose one from this list of, just like the list that Hades was choosing from earlier. So you can either clear a condition or gain a new purview, or get both, but choose one from the list.
Give me 2 seconds here.
Yep, this is trending.
Why am I trying to go through the once again? And all righty. And this is speak truth to masses. Okay. So I'm going to clear a condition, gain influence over a new purview, and gain the same condition I gave my audience.
Ooh. All right.
That's cooking with some gas right there.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
So I'm going to clear the busybody condition and replace that with liberated.
Mm-hmm. What's your new purview?
I think my new purview is fucking up the patriarchy.
Okay. Fair enough. I want to ask our other two gods in attendance here. How are they feeling seeing this performance?
A slightly meta question first, or a mechanical question, I suppose.
Mm.
Would essentially would gaining the liberated condition effectively remove my cowed condition?
Ooh. See, the thing is, with this movie, it just says, yeah, give your audience a condition. Ooh. I'm not sure. I think.
Honestly, he's in the audience,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. You know,
I
yeah.
mean-
I think.
I'm okay with that.
Ooh, yeah. I think. Yeah. I'd be. Okay. Yeah, I think I'd be okay with that. I think I'll give each player the choice if they want to let Lilith's performance wash over them and feel liberated.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so
it would kind of make sense for Persephone to do that as well, because I mean, Lilith did grow those trees for her.
How do you feel?
Yeah, Persephone is now liberated.
Nice.
So yeah, I think we see Hades, let's say up in the executive box, and he's kind of leaning forwards, kind of steepled fingers, looking down at the thing, and you can see obviously like the performance does get him, but more than that, he sees the impact that the performance has on the audience, and a smile spreads across his face. It's not necessarily a happy smile, but it's a smile of satisfaction, and I think he drains the rest of his glass, puts it down on the sort of empty chair next to him, and sort of turns on his heel and walks out of the box.
As he leaves, Persephone, I mean, she was just sort of like enraptured by the performance, but she, like tears herself away when she noticed Hades is moving and like just sort of appears by his side. Like, so that was pretty cool, right? But I mean, Sebastian, I heard you did that really cool thing with too, just earlier today. That was amazing.
Thanks, Persephone. It's we're starting something. I think I can feel it. I think we should go and pass our congratulations on to Lilith. She has achieved something here tonight, something I think the repercussions of which will be felt for generations to come.
And Persephone's sort of like fumble for words for a moment and like, yeah, I mean, you're doing such great things, Hades, like a great job. And like, she's just gonna sort of like pat your shoulder, and I don't know if Hades would notice this, but she's like wearing a jacket or something that you said looked great one time, and she is doing her incredibly awkward best to try to turn Hades on.
Ah,
I like it.
go ahead. Robot thought.
Ah, these cursed dice. I got a 4 again.
Oh, cheer. Mark experience and I think I don't want to keep using this guy, but it's great. Oh, I think. Okay, here's what happens. I think no, I'm not going to use the. I was going to play more acoustic music, but no. I think what happens is kind of like you're like your voice kind of like call out and says, "Wow, Hades, you're looking incredibly chipper since last I saw you." And it's Ahania. Her suit is now neon blue instead of neon red. And she's looking at the two of you and it's like, oh, Hades and Persephone. Of course. I don't even need to ask, do I?
It's complicated.
I guess, yeah, depends on who you ask about the myth. Was it, you don't know it's about seeds or whatnot, but you two, you aren't replicating anything from that into the now, are you? She's definitely got like a troll smile on.
I hope we've all managed to grow beyond that sort of thing now.
Of course.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, I guess it would just be silly, right?
Yeah, well, far be it from me to tell you to adhere to whatever dusty myths are about us. Like, I just thought since last I saw you, Hades, you're getting on the upswing. It's nice to see. And I think she kind of leans over and kind of like pats you in the shoulder. Hades.
Well, the performance was inspiring. I do have to congratulate Lilith on what she has done here tonight.
Oh, was it good? Sorry, I didn't get a chance to see it. I was in the toilet. So it must have been really fantastic then.
Indeed. It's inspiring, I'd say.
I think she probably sees like a fire in your eyes. Not the literal fire. Oh, there could be literal fire. I don't know. And I think like, well, they're probably rude of me to try and congratulate her on the performance. I didn't see, to be honest. So I'll let you two on your way. But okay, character. I think I'm more interested in. Do you want that flashback to a conversation with Ahania, Hades? Or...
Yeah, sure thing.
We'll keep that in our back pocket. We'll probably pop that
I mean,
on later to ruin
this
another perception.
Kind of feels like a perfect time to do it, since he's already talking to Ahania.
Ooh, yeah.
Quick thing before we do that.
Mhm.
Can I choose to become my darkest self?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a choice. I had to be told this, and I was also playing a ghost, and I was like, I just want to be my darkest self. I can't trigger it, and people are like, you just choose.
Okay. Because I mean, Persephone was doing her best to flirt, and then gets like ignored again. I think, yeah, she's her darkest self. She's just sort of fades away in the background.
All right. Before we jump into like poor Persephone, I think Hades kind of turns like, okay, let's go see Lilith, and Persephone's not there. Oh shit. All right. So before we jump into this flashback, let's welcome Pearl, who's here now. Hey, Pearl.
Oh,
So, how's day? How are you?
me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
how's it?
mostly sleepy and chagrined. Otherwise, okay. If last game is to be believed, I smell like a particular kind of dragon dung. But I like to think that doesn't carry over. Hopefully,
Nah, I think Adrestia probably smell a lot nicer than Dragon Dung. Let me link the character keeper in the chat. There we go. Yeah, I'll do like a very quick recap of what happened in this session. Let's see. Persephone's failing all the roles. Turns out she's not good at flirting. Even with Ed Sheeran / Osiris. That did happen, and she was soundly ignored. The poor dear. Lilith created a revolutionary patch to help people with ovaries, help them deal with pregnancies. Yeah, and she succeeded in that role, but it was not accepted by the masses because of corporate society. So she put on this barnstorm of a performance to get her message out. Hades went to South Africa. Yes, he went to South Africa. Took a bit of a jaunt to help out some miners, but they took the wrong message because of a failed role, and now he's got like what feels like the primal embodiment of the Earth. South America. Sorry, not South Africa. That's two completely different continents. Sorry, I've had some coffee in me. Yeah, went there to stop a strike, did a miracle, and kind of put out the wrong message. He said all wealth was his, basically, and the audience didn't take it too well. And now he's got the primordial earth is on his back now, and Jim did not decide to opt out of the series, so it's going to be the four of y'all. So instead, I had to invent a new god, and new goddess. Her name's Ahania. She's a bit of a troll. She refuses to tell people what goddess she is. She just tells people to do your homework. Just Google. That's a thing. And she saw Hades at failing at that. Get to the masses, and so she's got some questions for him.
Well, and she also tried to mess with Persephone, and I shut her down, which is why there's now a gigantic tree in the meeting room and some broken windows on the shard.
Yep, that all totally happened. There's now a giant tree where the dining room is. So, with all that said, I asked everyone this at the start because we were going to move on straight from the meeting to yeah. Well, the thing is, we do have a wait list, and there's a person in front of him for the wait list. Sarabel, I think. Yes, and David's going to be gone the week after next, so we'll probably bring her in, and then we'll close up with a five-parter. Not five-parter, five-person crew at the very last session. So I think that's kind of the plans. These plans I have.
By the way, David, don't forget when you're dealing with Ohania that she has the weak sauce condition.
Okay, so do you have any questions, Pro? Is there anything else you need to know?
Just what exactly is happening right now? I think I've got a lot of what happened over the course of things.
Okay, cool. So what happened right now is Lilith did her performance. It was awe-inspiring because she rolled a 12. And her audience, including everyone who was watching, got the condition liberated because now they feel like, fuck society, fuck oppressive society, fuck the patriarchy and all that. So everyone's feeling great. Persephone and Hades were off to try and congratulate Lilith. Persephone tried to flirt at Hades. Sadly, Persephone has been getting all the bad roles. Instead, she was interrupted by the aforementioned Ahania, who intimated that they had a very tough conversation with Hades around the whole South America strike thing, and kind of ruined the mood. Put Persephone in her darkest self, which for a ghost is basically that means they become invisible, unnoticeable. They just drift away. Poor Persephone. So that's where you kind of landed in. Persephone going to her darkest self, leaving Hades alone, and Ahania being a horrible troll. As you mentioned, Ahania is basically Janelle Monáe. At least that's what her look is. So that's what's happening right now. We're about to go in a flashback to that conversation, but I do I want to ask you, like, what's Adrestia been doing kind of this time? Just like a day or two after the meeting, the dinner. I want to know what Adrestia's been up to. If you want some time to think that over, we can do this flashback now, so you have time to think. Unless you have an idea.
The only thing I could think of is that I would be looking for the person who I was told about in the elevator.
Ooh, yes.
Which would also make sense why I would be absent for a bit, because he was elsewhere, yeah?
No. Yeah, no, that makes sense. For sure. I think I'll also caffeinated apparently. Okay, so let me think how to like put this together. I do want to get Adrestia on here. I think we'll do that before we get to this like conversation with Ahania, if that's okay with folks. All right, so let's do a bit of a flashback. Oh, come on, pocket shush. So Adrestia, what you're usually like, it feels like you get a lot of these sort of like jobs, so like hunting down the unjust. What's her like usual MO when she's hunting down someone?
I mean, I think she scopes out the location and then she goes and gets it done.
Ooh.
Not particularly flashy, but she is one who cannot be, what is it, resisted? I always forget the exact wording. That's so pleasant.
Cannot be escaped.
That's right. She can't
cannot
be escaped. So she doesn't need to like put a big production about this sort of thing. She does about other things, because it's once again her turn. But in terms of taking out people who deserve righteous wrath and whatnot, it's just kind of something she goes and does. She's not messy about it. She doesn't like leave she doesn't like burn things down or leave things all bloody. It's just the person definitely is not alive.
Okay. All right. So I think you ask let's see, what's the name of that goddess? You ask Fama for Crusader 87's address. I think you don't know how the god of rumors does it, but she gets the address. And yeah, I think it's a fairly nondescript house. Let's see, what's kind of a random David, I'm sorry, you're the only other British person here. Or at least, actually, no. I'll ask you this address, yeah, or Pearl, since you have been to London. Do you know what's a random like suburb in London, or like a random spot, like not like one of the nicer places, but where would someone be living?
No, Brixton.
Sure. I'm not gonna verify it with anyone. Sure, let's say Brixton.
When I was there, it was not the most pleasant place to accidentally end up on the wrong bus to. But It may have changed since then. It was a long time ago.
All I know about Brixton is they have an O2 there that's apparently pretty nice. And I only know that because a wrestling promotion put on a show there once. Okay, all right. Random trivia aside, this is what happens. This is my second mug of coffee. All right, so yeah, you get this address. It's a nice semi-detached house. You wouldn't mark it out from any other place, really. It's just another house. But Fama tells you, like, this is the place. This is absolutely where this asshole is. So what do you do?
Have I been able to independently confirm the assholishness and whatnot?
Ooh. I think there's not really a move for that, so I think I'm just gonna tell you because I don't think David invented this NPC to have like a nice side. No, he's shaking his head. So I don't want to give. I know exactly his type, so I don't want to make him cuddly. So I think you do your research. You watch some more of his videos. He has some decidedly Pantheon targeted videos. Some videos directed at specific people like Hades, who I know you don't like, but you know him well enough that like some of the stuff Crusader 87 is saying about Hades is just a bit off the mark. It's a bit ludicrous.
Okay.
So like even when you can tell like this guy is just stirring up trouble or just inventing
Yes.
stuff for
Spreading mistruths.
yeah.
Not something I approve of.
Oh God, no, I hope not.
It's hard to have righteous anger without the truth. So
That's true.
I don't know if there's a mechanic I need to
Um,
dispatch this fellow.
I think I want a description of how you get into the house, and I think I'm just gonna. You're a goddess. You've got powers. I think I'll just let you
Yeah, I
describe
kind
how
of-
you burst in.
I mean, I think I just literally burst in, like the door is closed, and then I wave a hand at it casually, and it isn't anymore. Because I don't like when doors are closed and I'm trying to go through them. That's rude.
I think you go in.
and-
And... Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
No, by all means.
Oh, I'm just gonna describe like this guy's place. It's fairly it's fairly sparse. The living room. You can just see into the kitchen, and there's like boxes of pizza boxes just lying around. You can see the kitchen's a bit of a mess, and you can see there's like a shed in the backyard with the lights on, and there's like a lot of wiring, lot of like electrical cords and going from the house into the shed. And yeah, the house is dark. The house itself is quite dark, but yeah, you can see lights in the shed.
So he's probably off making one of his videos, is he?
Yeah, I think that's you can totally get that. Definitely.
I'm gonna pick up one of the pizza boxes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna walk out to the shed. And I will politely knock on the door.
Who is it?
Pizza?
Wow, this has to be a personal best. I only ordered like 5 minutes ago.
We do aim to please, sir.
I think you hear a few locks being jiggled and opened, and I'm gonna ask David this because he created this NPC. What does Crusader 87 look like?
Yeah, fairly unremarkable looking, to be honest. The sort of person that you would like pass on the street without really giving them a second glance. I think that if he is like recording or preparing to record, I think he's maybe like got a sort of Crusader tabard on over kind of just a black t-shirt sort of thing.
God, yeah, I think he's got the tabard over the back t-shirt. He doesn't have his helmet, but he opens the door and immediately recognizes you because he knows everyone in the Pantheon, and he knows who you are and what you do. And he scrambles like backwards and kind of like falls over like a seat that's behind him and kind of like smashes against like a shelf like it's like full of books and notebooks and kind of tumbles to a heap in front of you. And he's like, how did you find me? What did you and he's kind of like scrambling, and he gets up and he pulls out a sword, a cardboard sword. And that's the only thing he has between you and him.
I mean, I have a cardboard pizza box, so in the land of cardboard, I think I'm still winning. But I think I just look at him and I say, "You clearly know who I am. Yes, speak up. Go on now."
You're Adrestia. She who cannot be escaped. She.
Exactly. It's that last bit I want you to think about while you scramble around and knock over all of your equipment. Cannot be escaped. There is nothing you can do in this situation other than make it worse for yourself. Yes?
He's crying. He
Oh, dear.
gets his pants.
Oh, bother.
Yeah, like I don't even need to make you roll for this. No. Hold on. No. I will not. Actually, I won't make you roll. I think he just started crying. He's just like, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Actually, the funny thing is it's really quite fair. That's really my thing, right? The scales of good and evil being balanced, righteous anger meaning inspired by the lack of righteousness. So really, I mean, I think you're going about this all wrong. The scrambling away from she who cannot be escaped, the claiming it's unfair when the person who enforces the fairness shows up. I just think, I mean, I understand that you're scared by all the like water leaking out of your face. But handle this like a gentleman, would you? I don't like all the rigmarole and nonsense.
I think you say, yeah, handle it a gentleman, and there's a part of him that kind of firms up, and I think he raises the sword again. But this time he's still crying, but he's angry crying, and he says like, "It's still not fair. Why do you get to decide? You're
Did you not? You announced who I was, right? When I arrived, I could reiterate what you've already said to yourself, goddess, right? Like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother. Would you like? I don't know. Like, I can give you a kiss before I kill you, and then you'll die happier, probably.
I think he. Oh, okay. What's he gonna do? Sounds like you're shutting him down.
Oh no! It was a generous offer on my part.
Oh, it's okay, all right, okay. Yeah, I think it's still a bit of a because I think I do want to see you roll. Yeah, you're not shutting him down. Yeah, that's true. You're generous. He's. I think. No,
I suppose I could roll to turn him on.
Yeah.
I don't intend to like really act on it, but it might put him in a better mood for what I'm about to do.
Okay. I think
go out happy and whatnot.
Yeah, we can roll. We can roll with that. Roll plus hot, which you are incredibly.
Yeah, let's see. I have like a 3, right?
Yep.
Hot.
Did you link to the roll for your party?
Yes, please.
Cool.
If I fail this roll, I'm gonna laugh so hard. I'm still gonna kill the guy though.
Oh yeah. That's definitely correct.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So it's an 8.
Even with a +3.
Yeah, I fully. That's higher than I expected.
Okay.
So what happens?
All right. So on the 7 to 9, they can either give you a string or choose one of the reactions. Let's see. He's not going to give himself to you.
I don't really want him.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's fine.
Let's see.
Like I said, just a courtesy, really.
Yeah, there's no point in giving you a string because you're going to kill him.
Yeah.
I don't foresee him surviving this unless
he's not going to survive.
Okay, all right, you've decided. Yes, I think he is just going to get embarrassed and awkward. So what happens is,
okay.
I think it's just that I think he's just gonna let go of the sword and kind of like blubber and cry. And I think because you got a hit here, the camera has actually no, the camera's been off because if you got in the mist, the camera totally would have been on, and people would have seen this. But it should probably be fine with you. That's what you do. But no, yeah, he is just kind of like, okay. Here's the embarrassing part. He's gonna try and like go down on his knees and like prostrate himself to you.
Oh, I hate it when they do this.
Yeah, he's
All of the histrionics.
yeah, and he's just murmured to himself, "It's not fair. It's not fair. Who gets to decide? Why do you get to decide?"
You know, if you weren't so sort of, I would say inspiringly, but it's the opposite of that, pathetic. I was considering doing some sort of musical number to celebrate your demise, but I don't think I can even bring myself to do that. What I would like to do, though, is have you look carefully at this pizza box.
He does.
Are you looking?
He
You notice the figures on the box driving around delivering the pizza?
he gives a small nod.
They're your new best friends. And I snap, and there's another picture on the pizza box. And he's gone.
Oh my gosh. I think yes, this is gonna be a work of miracle. I think this is part of what you do, but like, still gonna be, there's still gonna be some consequences. So if you go
It
to
could be sloppy artwork. I would be very disappointed.
all right, so you go to the moves tab in the character keeper. You see a move there called work a miracle. When you work a miracle to solve your problems, describe how your miracle manifests and then deal with the consequences. So it just happens. That's the nice thing about this movie. You don't have to roll. But there's a choice. You can choose to describe the consequences, in which case pick 2 from that list, or instead allow me to choose the consequence, but I only get to pick 1.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Bother. Sorry. I was looking at Milo. What are you? I may need to take a short second. Milo, Vintimiglia von Fluff and stuff. You come here right now. I will put you on a pizza box. There we go. Sorry. So I'm looking at the right move now. Let's pick off the trending move. Where's the trending move? Oh, below. Indeed. I guess I'll pick some.
Cool.
Just because the idea that the audience would like dislike me, or someone would like, I don't know. Really, I just don't want anyone to steal my spotlight. This is my moment, after all.
Yeah.
So okay. But I have to describe all these things. Yes.
Yeah.
I hurt someone I care about. I don't know. The true piece of me. I mean, the thing is that there are only the 2 of us here, right?
Well, I can say the camera is on then, so people can see this. Maybe he was doing like a live stream.
Well, that is not what I want. No.
Okay.
I'm avoiding that sort of thing. I'm just trying to figure out how to answer the questions that involve other people, without them being there. But I guess we could have the camera on, and I can just.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to take on a life of its own.
Ooh.
And Milo Vintimiglia von Fluff and stuff, I will destroy you. I am inescapable. Come and lay down.
Your dog's a deer.
He's a wonderful dog. He's the love of my life, and he just sometimes really wants to get into the trash. So Trevor takes my life right now. So here is what I am thinking. That the new trend for breaking up with someone is to show up with an empty pizza box at their door, knock on the door, wait till they answer, toss the pizza box in, and walk off.
Okay.
I've inspired many young women with unrighteous lovers to stand up for themselves. And then I have to pick another one as well. Is that right?
Yeah, you pick 2 consequences from Work a Miracle. Okay, yeah. Someone. Okay.
What's my darkest self? Do I want to go there? Probably not, but you never know. I thought I had put everything in the notebook, and yet I do not see my darkest self, which is weird.
Let me look that up. Let's see. That's a skin deep skin. Siren. Your dark self. I'm gonna. Wow, that's harsh. Yeah, fun fluff and stuff. Drag them to the depths of their souls, rip them to pieces, and let them suffer. You want to sink everyone and do so by finding what they feel most vulnerable about and making crude and horrific art of it. Okay, so maybe it's a bit much to start off. Might be a bit.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
that's a bit intense. All right, maybe not so much the darkest. I don't know that I need to bully people until they kill themselves right at the moment. Maybe later though, depends on how many of them get weepy like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very irritating. So okay, a different one. How about someone sees a true piece of me, and I will just say you as the MC can ask me a question that I must answer honestly in or out of character.
I think let's see. Let's look at the list of NPCs. I think because I do kind of want to put this in character.
Okay.
Who would see you?
I don't know that they even need to see me in the moment so much as they've gotten a glimpse of me in some way.
Yeah, maybe this is this. You get this question afterwards when you're going back to meet up maybe with the other. There's a big after party for the Pantheon after Lilith's big performance. And I think Fama kind of messages your group chat saying, "Hey, remember we've got an after party. Lilith sold out. Well, not sold out Wembley. I guess it was a free gig, but everyone's gonna be there. Hey, has anyone seen Persephone?" Yeah, so I think I might bank on that question as well until we get you back in with the other folks. That's all right.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. All right, so let's cut to Okay, cool. All right, so I got confirmation. Oh wait, no, I got confirmation that yes, someone watched these things, and now we are back live. Cool. All right, so I think we'll do that conversation with Hades and Ahania. It's I think we should do. Let's what does it look like when Hades is making a way to to go meet up with Lilith as kind of you're fulminating is a great word, just chewing over what Ahania said.
Yeah, so I think we see Hades walking down, and in contrast to the the glitz and the of the sort of executive box area that was in before, it was all carpeted and art on the walls, probably lots of pictures of previous artists that have played there and all that sort of thing. He's actually on the approach now to sort of the backstage area, so it's just this stark concrete tunnel underground with just those stark fluorescent white lights every and it's just a complete contrast to the sort of the plushness and the luxury that we usually sort of associate with the Pantheon.
Nice. And I think it's almost this isn't actual magic, but it's just as you're kind of walking to these rough, your mind do these corridors, your mind kind of casts back to So where did you have this conversation with Ahania? I think it's probably like in the aftermath of your helping that strike.
So I just muted myself after being unmuted. I think maybe it's on the plane on the way back. I think I can see that.
Yeah, I think yeah, you're probably like sitting in the plane. What's another word for fulminating? Glowering. There we go. That's a good word. Yeah, or smoldering. I don't know. And yeah, I think kind of like in the seat in front of you, almost like as if she unfurls out of midair. Oh, from midair. Ahanya kind of like almost like stretches out of reality and kind of sits down and sees there's probably like drinks in front of you. I'm imagining like nice private plane with like table drinks in between the two seats. And she kind of like gestures at the table and is like, "Do you mind?" You muted yourself there.
Of course not. Be my guest.
Cool. And yeah, she pours herself. Let's see. What would she drink? Yeah, it's probably whatever you have there, which is probably like brandy of some sort.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. She takes a drink, makes a face. Oh, that's rough stuff. And I think there's like a minute silence as she's kind of like just looking at the drink. Like, when she's like, she's almost like testing you. And then she looks at you and says, "Is that how you do your business, Hades, if you don't mind me asking?"
Not always, no. I thought I'd try something a little more hands-on.
It's just weird just seeing it from the perspective of, those, I wouldn't call them poor policemen, they're still policemen, but this terrible thing coming down from, well, not coming down from the sky, but that sensation, this figure of power. Do you know I was there for one of your gigs? It was like one of your first ones. She's acting as if she doesn't know, but she's trying to like make you tell her, and because I'm asking you what one of your first gigs were.
Dalston, was it? Most of my early ones were Dalston.
Yeah, Dalston. God, I bet you no one gave a shit about that place until you came along.
Depends who you ask, but yeah, that's a fair assessment of it.
I mean, let me just say, like it was hearing there was like a god, the pantheons come back. Like even if it was just another bum gig, another scammer, you've been worth going there just in case it was true. And it was. And let me just say, you were absolutely like stellar, commanding, even.
I didn't peg you for a true believer, but then I suppose we've had little chance to get to know each other yet.
No, not really. And to be honest, I've not made it easy for everyone, have I?
You do have a certain mystique, that's for certain.
Well, it's kind of comes with a package. I do wonder, though. We get this upgrade, we get this boon. And I guess we're just our ancient one, dear Nyx. She just lets us often do whatever we want, and people do what they want. You see people like Cyrus acting out their desires. You see Adrestia trying to right the world. See Persephone just not giving a shit. But I've always wondered, you specifically, Hades, because what do you want to do with all this?
I want to make a change. I want people to remember me. I want to leave the world in a better state than it was when I came into it.
I think she kind of like, smiles at that, and she takes off her sunglasses. That's when you see her. I think she has dark eyes, but again, what looks like circuit board, green circuit lines on her eyes. And she says, well, are you being truthful?
Yes,
This is the question. Yeah, truthfully. I think you are being truthful, but like, I just want to get that out. I think she kind of smiles at that and says, well, that's a lofty fucking goal. You're not the only one who's trying for that, but do you wish you luck? Better luck than you had today. There are worse things to want to do.
And what about you? Or is that another mystery you choose to keep close to your chest for now?
I don't know why people think I'm a mystery. Just do your research. It's not even big research. Google will help you out. Well, I mean, I could just tell you if I wanted to save you the trouble. There's nothing mysterious about me. I just make do. I just am. I think she kind of like...
That's all we can do, really, isn't it? Be for a while.
For a while. 2 years. So I think in those 2 years, I'm going to be the best me that I could ever want to be. And I think with that I think, unless you have anything else to say, we'd probably fade back to you wandering those corridors.
Yep, cool.
Cool. Okay, so I know I said there's an after party, Lilith, but I think maybe someone arranged an after party. You don't have to have had an actual after party, Lilith. But where are you after the performance? I think everyone's kind of congregate around you.
Oh, they must have mistaken me for somebody who would like actually want to come right off stage and start like talking to people. I'm sitting in the back on like a road case, just like pouring water over my head, trying to get a few minutes to myself after that, because this has been a day. I mean, revolutionize birth control, play a capacity show at Wembley and kill the crowd, liberating everybody who saw it. I mean, that's kind of it's kind of something.
Nice.
So yeah, I'd like. I believe the expression is, can a bitch get a minute?
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I think there was someone did arrange a party. It was probably Fama. I was like, okay, no, this looks good, and you're probably not at that party, and people are probably fine with that.
I think right now, did I notice that Persephone and Hades were there?
I I think, yeah, I think you'd probably know that they were there.
All right. So would I have seen that Hades stopped to talk to Ohania?
Maybe not because they were talking like just on the corridor outside of the executive box, but you probably know that she's there as well. Hanya.
So I think after just catching my breath for a second or two, cooling down, I'm going to go look for Persephone.
Okay, it's gonna be tricky because she's
I know,
invisible.
darkest self.
Yeah. Persephone, where are you at the moment?
I could either have. There are two possibilities. I'm thinking I either went home to the. I'm sorry. Where did we call the place we live again?
The Shard.
The tower, the Shard.
Yeah.
Or I'm like in the corner of the after party, like furiously like tapping away on my like smartphone.
Ooh, what are you doing with your smartphone? Who are you tapping to? Or
I'm planning something for later.
okay. I think Lilith, if you want to try and find Persephone, there's a Monster Hearts basic move like gaze into the abyss.
All right. Well, let's just go for good old-fashioned gaze in the abyss.
Yeah, let's do that. Try to find someone who's invisible.
And what do I roll with on that?
You're gonna roll with dark. Name what you're looking for, and then roll with dark.
Well, I am looking for Persephone, and I rolled an 8.
Cool. So on a 7 to 9, the abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. So I think for a moment you feel this sensation. Oh, sorry, Persephone. I saw you meet there. If you have a suggestion for this, that's fine as well. Because
And real quick, because I just looked at the play sheet, doesn't liberated replace Persephone's ignored condition?
Ooh.
I kind of want to keep both.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I had an idea for a vision if that works.
Go ahead.
I was thinking, like, for a second, you have like a passing image of like plants, like erupting from the ground and like swarming over like cities and buildings and just like strangling structures and stuff. And that's when you like notice a tapping noise over from the corner as I'm like tapping on a smartphone.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, Lilith. So yeah, you see that, and yeah, you probably wandered into the after party, and there are probably some folks who start to go for try to get your attention, but I think you're giving off like bitch please energy, so they're gonna back off. But yeah, you notice tapping the smartphone tapping in the corner, and I think you'll see like Persephone almost kind of like shimmer in and out of vision. But there she is.
I'm going to walk over and flop down beside her. So, plants, huh?
There'll be a pause, and then ooh, do you have like a drink with you or something?
Nope.
Okay, let's say somebody left a drink on an end table, and then like the condensation, like I run an invisible finger through the condensation to spell out yes.
Did you get to see the show?
Your phone buzzes, and it says it was incredible.
Out of everybody I know, you may need liberation the most.
There's a long pause, and then text ellipses ?
Well, I mean, you literally got dragged to hell by a man because he was being selfish and wanted to feed his own ego. And now you reincarnated in the body of a terminally ill teenager, and you're still stuck with him.
Long pause, lots of tapping noises, several pauses in the tapping, as this is taking a lot of thought. And then you get like a really long text. It's like, we're not sure what happened originally. I've talked to Hades, and neither of us can remember what happened the first time. But I mean, he's not all bad now, and I mean, yeah, dying wasn't great. Ooh, actually, I think this brings up my unresolved trauma.
Yeah,
I think I take that condition too.
Yeah, for sure.
Ellipses. Okay, things haven't been great.
I mean, when I'm looking for a relationship with somebody, I always shoot for not all bad. I mean, that's like the most ringing endorsement of love that I can think of.
You have a point.
So, you want to get out of here?
Like immediate response, yes. All caps.
Cool. It's, you want to hit the botanical gardens? I bet we could get them to open it up for us.
That would be fantastic.
All right. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
I think that's enough to get you out of your darkest self. Your presence has been acknowledged. I think the two of you stand up.
Cool. I sort of like fade back into visibility, and I look down at myself like, oh, hey. I look back at Lilith and like, thank you. It's rough like that.
Yeah. I know. Let's go look at some plants.
Cool. And I think, let's see. Is there anything else? I do want to jump back to Adrestia while we let these two go off to look some plants. Yes. I think that resolves the ignored condition for sure. I don't want to resolve traumatized just yet because it just came up. Or maybe no, I'll leave that for now. But yes, that resolves ignored for sure. All right. So Adrestia, I think, yeah. What's up with you? You just know like everyone's kind of at this after party. Well, everyone is at this after party. What do you do after you've successfully
Sorry,
done
I forgot
your
it was
mission?
muted. I think I could use a drink. That was all a bit dramatic, really tiring. It's like a low bandwidth thing. I'm going to change my video quality in hopes that will help.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get anything but tired.
Can everyone hear me? It's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, I think like with all of that nonsense and the crying and the everything, it was more taxing than I was anticipating. So if there's a party going on and I could go get a drink, I think I would like to join. Cool. And I like Lilith, congratulate her on her success.
I think
sounds like she's not there, but I don't know that yet.
Yeah, you will see. I think Hades, you also miss Lilith, who's ran off with Persephone, but you'll see Adrestia when she shows up.
Oh, I probably not at the party because I was going backstage to look for Lilith. But if I don't find her, then I'll just leave. So
okay, that's fair. All right. So yeah, there's this party there near there, Adrestia, and I think Fama, the goddess who gave you the mission, it's kind of like, oh, thank God, another God. Everyone seems to have fucked off to do other things. I guess that's what gods do. You got someone's here to liven up the party. Did you?
Is it
Go ahead.
is the party not all you were expecting? Where's Lilith?
Well, okay, it was a 50 chance she'd show up anyway. Lilith. There's a
I do.
reason why. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
She's a favorite. I was hoping to run into her, but
Yeah, I was hoping she'd show up. This is her party anyway, but I think you just missed her. Hold on, I'm gonna text her. Where the hell is she? Oh, by the way, did you get the thing done?
of course I did. Why would you even ask such a thing? I'm offended.
Well, you always got to be sure. I mean, purview is it rumors. The thing with rumors is that they're loosey goosey.
Yeah, but my thing isn't rumors. My thing is righteous justice.
You always get that done. That's cool.
I do. Yes. I don't think he'll be bothering anyone but possibly a recycling person who objects when things aren't put in the bin.
I shan't ask for any more details. I think she's like a bit. There's a bit of like, oh god, in her voice. I said like, you're a bit extreme even for her. I think she's like, well, I guess that's it for now. Unless you're just looking for.
Did you want someone to liven up the party?
Well, I think she kind of looks around. I think it's a bit. I think let's see what other gods is there. Osiris is there because I like putting him there to make everything awkward. Osiris is the Ed Sheeran god. I think Bast is there for sure. She's probably like. She's got like a gaggle of like her own like followers, and she's having like a nice like talk. Probably like, yeah, she's got some cats like on her feet, and there's like a crowd just like kind of like listening and bantering with her, and there's like another crowd around Osiris, and he's on a stool with his guitar that he never leaves anywhere, putting on a small show, and other than that, there's a lot of people just milling around like, "Where's Lilith? Where's Lilith?" And Fama's just like, I mean, it is what it is. It's a party.
I mean, if you want someone to liven it up, I felt like I was a bit understated with the pizza box thing.
You call that being understated?
I mean, there was no blood. There was no mass destruction. What exactly did you want me to do to him?
I just left it up to you. It's just that, some people would think transmuting someone into a pizza box would be inventive, for sure. I think people.
Would you rather I use a gun next time? That seems to be the culture of the people around here, right? We just shoot things.
Not in jolly old England, no.
I just meant humanity in general.
Oh, well, humanity.
Much too many guns. We could use a little bit more pizza box murder, if you ask me. But that's all right. If you'd like to have a boring party, by all means, carry on.
No, it's Lilith's party. If she wanted to be boring and she didn't want to be here, it's hers. I'm just like curious now. I'm a bit curious, Adrestia. Do you mind if I ask? In between meting out justice, what do you do?
Look for more justice to mete out, usually. There's a never-ending fount of iniquity that is called humanity. And I'm not allowed to wipe out vast swaths of them like that Old Testament God that everyone thinks so much of. I have to do it one by one. So it's really a never-ending job. I came here to get a drink because sometimes it gets a bit wearying, but But really, the work's never done.
I think she gets you a drink.
Thank you, my dear.
As you say, that's like, oh yeah. Someone should, at least one person here should be getting drunk at least. And yeah, she gets you a drink. What I think she probably knows what everyone's favorite drink is. That's just part of her purview. What do you usually get?
French martini. So vodka and Chambord, and what else? Lemon twist, and a bit of, is it Cointreau?
I think so. Not sure.
One of you knows enough about cocktails to confirm that I have that recipe right. Vodka, Chambord, creme de cassis, Cointreau, something like that, and lemon twist.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. Vodka, Chambord. Is the last thing creme de cassis?
I'm not sure. I don't
I feel
drink
like I'm missing
cocktails.
something. In any case, very nice, light, and refreshing, as long as they do the lemon twist properly.
Yeah.
You know, you have to twist it over the drink because what happens is that the oils in the rind spread out over the glass. It'll give you those nice hits of flavor.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think she gets that for you very quickly. Like, I don't know what's happening at that bar, but they're making cocktails quite in record speed. And I think she says, yeah, you might as well get a drink over here. I'm just, again, purview, curiosity, rumors, all that stuff. I'm just like
Pretend this
wondering.
is a cocktail glass.
I'm just wondering, Adrestia, that everyone here in the Pantheon, even that newbie Ahania, no matter how hard she tries to be a mystery and whatnot, everyone's still connected to like who they were before Nyx came for us. But not you. You don't seem connected at all. I'm just wondering, is there
I think
anyone looking for you?
it might be the holiness escape. I think I just subsumed poor girl. But, you know, I don't think anyone would be looking at it. The reason that I ended up in this suit, if you will, is that she was quite looking for someone to come along and help her exact retribution after being abandoned by the first person I dispatched when I arrived, in fact. And so I think really she was quite alone, which is very sad. I'm glad I could avenge her by taking over her body entirely and then killing her former lover. Because she deserved that kind of justice, I think. And she wasn't using it for anything really, other than like weeping a lot.
I think Fala just like smirks and says, well, far be it for me to say otherwise to goddess of righteous anger. It's just whoever this girl was, you know, she has history. She has maybe family, maybe some footprints around here, and it's not confirmed, but like they might be looking for her. So just a heads up.
Am I not famous now? I thought
that's
we were
the
all
thing.
famous.
Oh, well, that's the thing. Yeah, everyone's extremely famous, of course. That's what we do. It's just when most people just want to show off and inspire the world while you get the work done. Some people just get overshadowed a bit, but you're getting the work done, Adrestia. You're getting your name out there.
I mean,
there's some girl who's dropped out of the world. There's always consequences for that. I just want to make sure you know.
I mean, if you want to make sure I know, you should tell me what they are rather than being such a weird and cryptic nonsense speaker. Oh, consequences. I'm inescapable. I'm not worried unless you give me something specific to worry about. Who are these people and what do they want?
I think she kind of like closes her eyes and is like, just sorry. Adrestia, that's the thing with rumors. They're slippery. It takes a while for them to become concrete. I'll tell you more once I know. Like I said, we all
Please do.
have to look out for each other. There's nobody like us, after all.
No, indeed. And some of us are more equal than others. And I would be looking over at Hades if he were here. But he is who I'm thinking of when I make that comment.
Hades feels a chill down their spine.
Like somewhere, someone inescapable is saying something petty about them. It's just the sort of thing they can sense. So did you have anything for me beyond like a vague someone out there is looking for me for some reason? Because I imagine that could be applied to a lot of people, and we could have much more pleasant conversations over like this martini is excellent. My compliments to the mixologist.
I think Fama again just smirks. It's like, man, you really just can't. You really just don't turn off. All right. And
I do turn on. Would you like to see?
she raises an eyebrow. Rope was hot. Let's end this session with, let's see how this goes.
10.
All right. On a 10 plus, you are gonna take a string on them, on Fama, and choose one of the reactions. And okay, all right, I think we're just gonna fade to. Wait, she raises an eyebrow down and says, "You know anything to liven up my night, I guess." And she like downs her drink. And I don't know. We'll fade to black. We'll end the session there, and then we'll deal with I'm choosing the reaction she's going to give herself to you. So we reached the end of the session, so we are just kind of fade to black. And I think I like the image we get from everyone. Hades has fecked off, sulking. Where does he sulk, actually? Just so we got a last shot of everyone.
He's actually I can roll that over to next time if you want, because there's probably a performance I want to do. So
okay, cool. So you know what? That sounds cool. I think we might end the session with that image of whatever you're doing. Or what's actually no. Just tell me what did we last see? I'm fucking coffee. That's my excuse. Yeah, what was the last we see of Hades for today?
Yeah, I think it's probably just him entering his rooms and just looking thoughtful, but like with a sheen of determination in his eyes.
Yeah, cool. What's the last we see of Lilith and Persephone?
I think they're walking through the gardens, and Persephone's more animated than she's ever like appeared before, just being a big old plant nerd, like pointing out like, oh, those are the so and so, and then like telling you more plant trivia than you've ever heard before.
How's Lilith?
Smiling.
That's cool. I think probably when we come back next session, we'll probably okay. No, I keep those thoughts to myself. And yeah, I think we kind of have a last shot of like, oh, what's the last shot we see of Adrestia? I'm gonna assume you and Fama went off, do a thing, but you're muted there, bro.
Since you're an equal, that means I get another string on you, which is nice. Fama.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
but I think having had a nice time, but like not being one to linger, Fama has left, and but like but like treated nicely and given a fun party. It's not a kicked out kind of situation. And Adrestia is looking at her list of songs that she'd like to perform soon, to get her message out, to hopefully avoid more of the pitiful shenanigans like with that last fellow. Like, people should be prepared that she's coming. And maybe some of them will behave better and she won't have to come after all. But she's got a nice list and she's just like putting a point on it. And from what you can see on the paper, it's sort of a combination of songs indicating that people shouldn't bother to resent her or dislike her for doing what she does, because it's deserved, and also that they should know they had it coming. And the only reason I'm not specifically using the cell block tango is because I have another game of Once Again We Return in which I'm using all songs from musicals.
Yeah.
I suppose I could use it in both, but Loki's performance is going to be quite the number on that one. But it's got like "Hate on Me" by Jill Scott, "These Boots Were Made for Walking" for like throwback number, "You Ought to Know," some Alanis, "One Way or Another," because of course inescapable. And then her standard that she just hums to herself after she's finished, which is another One Bites the Dust. There are more songs on the list, but that gives you sort of a representative sample. Oh, and "Cry Me a River," which she added after that last guy.
God. Oh my God. All right. That's a fab image to end this session on. And to get once again, I'd like to thank everyone here on this call for just being fantastic and just having some really cool lines, really cool ideas, really cool just images, and just like making these characters pop. Oh my God, they're all different spectrums of nice and terrible, and we got a good spectrum of them, which is great. All right, I'm gonna stop this broadcast. But yeah, just fab. Thanks so much. But